now to the breaking news. The indictments dropped against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James. Professor Emeritus at Harvard Law School, Alan Dershowitz, joins me. Good afternoon, sir. And I guess this was sort of expected, but tell me, why were these dismissed?
Well, it's highly, highly technical. The court ruled that the U.S. attorney wasn't properly confirmed. But of course, under the Constitution law, the attorney general could sign an indictment. And so it would be the easiest thing in the world just to have Pam Bondi sign it. The U.S. attorney doesn't have to sign it. And the problem is that unless this is appealed successfully, the Comey indictment may be beyond the statute of limitations. Not so with the James indictment. So the government may have to appeal the Comey dismissal while not appealing the James dismissal, just have the Attorney General of the United States sign the indictment. That would be the easiest thing.
All right. If the Comey indictment, that's because Lindsay Halligan, who was the interim U.S. attorney that was put in there, it was really rushed right up against the deadline when the statute would run on James Comey. Is there no way to sort of loop it back, and you can't correct an indictment, but is there no provision, no breathing room once that date passed, even though they got the indictment, a defective indictment, there's no way to loop it back and bring Comey within the statute?
It's possible. It's possible that they did file an indictment within the statute of limitations. The court ruled without prejudice, and the without prejudice may mean that they can do it if it was within the statute of limitations. That would be litigated, obviously, by Comey, and it's conceivable he might win, but it doesn't affect Letitia James, I think, who is well within the statute of limitations. Of course, if he wins, if the government wins its appeal in the Comey case, then the original indictment stands within the statute of limitations. So it's highly technical. It doesn't say anything about the merits of the case or any of the defense issues that have been raised. So here we are with a highly, highly technical opinion. It doesn't vindicate Comey. It certainly doesn't vindicate Letitia James. The irony, of course, is that they're citing an opinion that was in favor of Trump as support for this opinion. And then, of course, with Letitia James, she's claiming that she was targeted when she invented the concept of targeting. She was Lavrenti Beria to Joseph Stalin, who said, "Show me the man and I'll find you the crime." She campaigned on the campaign promise to get Trump. I wrote a book by that name. I didn't come up with the name. She came up with the name. And so she's now hoist by her own petard. And so we're seeing in both instances, Trump's victory being used against him and the campaign being used against her. What a world.
Indeed. As I understand, though, is that what the judge said is that Lindsay Halligan was, that there was already someone appointed U.S. attorney. That person left the office, and so then Pam Bondi appointed this Lindsay Halligan to be the interim, but that the appointments clause and the statute don't permit it, that only at that point could you go to the district court. Is that correct, for an appointment for a U.S. attorney at that point? The
law is really crazy here. It gives judges...
All right, but let me ask you, the reason I ask you that is because in the first line of the judge's order, to me, as I thought, this judge doesn't like Lindsay Halligan at all, because it describes Lindsay Halligan, who is a lawyer, but she doesn't know, she's a former White House aide with no prior prosecutorial experience, which was unrelated to the reason for throwing the indictment out. The indictment was thrown out because she was appointed incorrectly under the appointments clause and the statute, according to the judge.
Yeah, you know, Louis Brandeis didn't have any experience either. So the idea that you throw in a prejudicial phrase like that shows you the bias of the judge, without a doubt. The judge made a highly technical decision, probably wrong in my view, but the whole statutory scheme is all messed up. Judges shouldn't be going around appointing under Article 3 of the Constitution. They're supposed to decide cases and controversies. I have long believed that the entire process by which judges appoint interim U.S. attorneys is unconstitutional. It exceeds the power of judges under Article 3 of the Constitution.
Well, so we'll see what happens. Carolyn Levitt says that the Department of Justice will appeal, and I assume they'll appeal the Comey dismissal. They'll just re-indict or re-sign the Tish James, and that will be to restart that case. So we'll see what happens. Professor Alan Dershowitz, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
People think news just happens. It doesn't. It happens because there's someone there to capture the moment, to explain it and share it. That's my job. I go where news breaks and give you the facts. Join me for The Record on Newsmax.